yeah, it's containing assets that are very familiar, let's say it this way. In particular, it has a lot of stuff from PUBG Lite. So yeah, that was the whole goal of the importing business here, to be able to load these files and then be able to look at them. Hello, welcome to another development episode. This time I want to show a tool that I'm working on for a week now, which is just a port of my PUBG Lite Explorer for another game. And I've come far enough that I can already support textures and meshes, so I want to add this to my Unreal to Unity importer. So let's see how fast I can do this without explaining too little. So let's see, we already have textures, ta-da! We already have meshes. Well, ta-da, I can't display this here. I don't have a 3D render, but trust me, it's loading all the meshes. And now let's add it to this game, to this tool. Alright, so first off we have to tell it that this game exists. So this would be, drumroll, what will it be? Aim for Peace. Which is the name for PUBG Lite or PUBG variant. I don't know how to tell this. But it got an 11 gigabyte pack file, so I was very interested in what's inside. And I got pretty far because others already did some work in that. But we will see. Copies. So then we need a new hint for it. So wait a second. This should come after this. Same here, otherwise later I will have just a problem finding anything if it's not ordered by alphabet. Okay. So the magic, that's a good question. Start with that. That's this, okay. We do have a key that we need. I'm not even sure what the version is. Let's find out. Actually not with the hex editor because it's encrypted, but let me show this. Oh, this is 11 gigabytes, this is big. And if you look at the last 2D bytes, which are the header, it's all encrypted. Except the version number, which is nice. So this is 8, okay. Okay. In order to decrypt that, we need this key. It's just a simple XOR key. the possibility to add more keys because I need another one. Key. I mean, sure, why not? Let's make a list of it. Okay, so we need that here. And that's already it. Oh, actually I can give it null, yeah. That's easier. Waste less memory. This we will need. Okay. And we had this one. This. That's a pretty long key. Actually, what is it in ASCII? LOL. Actually, never looked at this. Okay, never mind. Let's use this here because this key is used to decrypt the ini files which have an extra key for it. Okay, so now my tool at least knows about this. Engine 4, this is true. Encrypted, yes. Key min max version. Okay, that should work. So let's actually load this. Oh yeah, we expect the header to be encrypted or not. And I'm not quite sure what it is, 6C. So it's not compressed. Oh, that's too far. Let's go back. You are not encrypted, at least according to the header. Yeah, this will fail anyway, so it will go to special. Okay. Actually, just switch Yeah, sorry. In the game type for peaks. Okay. We have to, read some stuff. Quick check. It's 2D, yeah, that's correct. Okay, so we have this buffer already, so we have to decrypt it. Actually, let's make a helper function for this. This XOR key. Okay, so we take an input byte, XOR it with a key byte, and move on. Increase that. Okay, pause. Can I just write it like this? Divide by rest? Nah. So division by rest means as long as I divide by the whole length of the key and this is smaller, it just returns it, and if it is bigger, then it just returns a part of it. So this goes circular through the key. That should be it. Okay, so input comma extract keys. Okay, and then we should be able to do the normal routing. Just quick check. Yeah. Yeah, there was this gap in between that I noticed. Otherwise this would go wrong. Okay. Okay. So at least we should get that far that it reads the header. Okay, let's test this. Okay, get me a new one. As usual, I will cut the loading times. Okay. Still not okay, okay. So let's refine it here. And let's see what happens. Nothing. Wait. Now it works, okay. This won't work. This could work. No, that was the wrong key. Okay, I can't change this now and this will fail. What? Okay, then this should fail. Okay, never mind. Okay, this was the wrong key. That's the right key. Okay. See you in a minute. Okay, so let's try that again. Yeah, that looks better. There's a long key. Okay. Let's see what we get. A Visual Studio crash. Great. Visual Studio, come on. What's the matter? Okay, great. really doesn't want to debug debug this. Why? Oh, Unity, what are you doing? Finally? Okay. This is still wrong. Because it comes in the other order. Okay. Yeah, so continue. Okay. So I just assume it will read it correctly. Also, shouldn't it say it's okay this time? Failed to load. So then we have the header. Then we want to read the file table. Okay. Let's do this then. Crypt file table. No, we don't need to do that. Okay, let's see what happens there. Will it, won't it? Who knows? They are attached. Unity is mysterious debugging behavior. Sometimes it's really weird. Okay. Catch. Oh, yeah. That explains things. Maybe I should just update my DLL. And see you in a minute. And let's continue. So just in case, let's make a few hundred breakpoints here. Why not? Come on, Unity, what are you doing? Okay, and one hit. Okay, better than nothing. Hello, Unity, what the hell are you doing? Okay, okay, so you have valid data. So we have a file table. So let's load it then. Yeah, this will work differently. Okay. And here it will work differently. Let's see. This will be different. Okay, let's see. Huh. Another thing they switched around. Okay. because these entries do not contain a name. These have to be read extra. Okay, let's have a look at this. First off, what was the offset? This does not look correct for me. Wait a minute. This looks also wrong. Okay, never mind, that's correct. So we have the mounting string, the count of entries, yeah, what is the header size? Alright, so this is only the pack entries, and then it directly continues with the names. Okay, that is fine. That's the entries, and we read it only from that. Okay. Yeah, this should work. Okay, let's try it out. Will it crash? Okay, I think I will make a little break here and just restart Unity. This is really unworkable. Be right back. Hello, I'm finally back. It took a while to come back to this topic. As you can see from the date, a little bit of time has passed. And in the meantime, we got access to some tool that was previously not openable, and so we spent a little bit of time to make this working. What this is, it's an Unreal Engine editor for a game called Game of Peace. And yeah, it's containing assets that are very familiar, let's say it this way. In particular, it has a lot of stuff from PUBG Lite, so maybe or maybe not this was used to make PUBG maps, I'm not sure. Or just they just used them in here, but it's very interesting to have this tool. And it comes obviously with files. And so that's how this video actually started, but I know a few things more, which has a 11 gigabyte PAC file in it, and my Explorer can already explore this. Not quite sure if I showed this at the beginning of the video, but just to be sure. And yeah, I can already look at textures and meshes. I think I said that before. And yeah, then I try to import this into Unity with my importer tool. Let me quickly find some textures. This, for example, texture, boom. There it is, stuff like this. And as I already have done this work pretty quickly, it would have been very useful to quickly get it to my importer tool. As you can see, I have fixed a few things in the meantime, and I also changed a few things. For example, that you can now see all the files that are not supported but still there, so they could be exported potentially. And also, yeah, that I can load these files at all right now. Unity editor, as you have noticed, was really having a hiccup, and so I essentially had to dismiss it for that day. I couldn't continue debugging anything, and between then and now, Unity had a big security flaw and has an update that needed a new version for everything if you want to continue using it. And so I had to update to a new editor version, which then had some problems with the package editor, so updating that. And finally, after setting everything up, I can now pretty much do normal debugging again. So far for that. And yeah, as you can see, I can now load this file, Game for Peace, and there they are, all the files. Right now we cannot see into the files yet, for example the asset files, which would be, here the cube would be easy, for example. Yeah, debugging works now. Already figured out what the problem is here, so I can continue this video. Does not work yet, but to get here, well, I had a few mistakes to fix, and yeah, after a little bit of let's say debugging in the last week, I figured that out. So first off, to show all the files, I have to not filter out for what's currently filtered for, so UAsset files or also UMap files for the maps. I want to see all the data, so all the files, and so making them valid and saying this becomes a label and not a drop down like the folders. Just discerning if they have the dot in the name, because I think no folders have dots in the name, so that works pretty well. I will see. So first off, I can see all the files, and now about the importing. I was at PAC file. We were at reading the PAC file table, and all I was passing in was the data that I was cutting out. So looking at this in the hex editor, we go to the start of the blocks and we mark all the bytes that are part of the file table, and we will end up here. So, and right after that comes the actual file names. They are not included in here. Here's a lot of data, but no file name. These come later and will be applied later. And I only gave it that buffer, and then it tried at the end of it to actually read this name table, which then failed. One problem. And another problem was when reading the file table, we come to this loop that after we read the header, actually reads all the entries in this blob of data. And in here, for normal PEG files, I would expect the name right into this data. So this was a default thing that was at the top of here. Now I only do this if it's one of the other games, and for Game of Peace I have to load them later. So this is what happens here. If this is Game for Peace, also reads file names and directory names. And if you want to look at this, we have first off the entry count, 64-bit, so 8 bytes. Then we have the directory count. And then for each directory we first read, oh sorry, that was 4 too much. Then we read its name, so this directory has a length of f and its name is engine config. Okay, then we read the file count, also 8 bytes, that is 1521 in decimal. And then for each we read first the name, that would be this, and then the index for the entry from the file table that we just read, which this is applied to. Then we take that entry and actually make our path here later. So now I have all the files in my explore mode here in my tree, in asset importer as well as in map importer. Just map importer is obviously showing only this content, filters out all the UAsset files. But here we can see, for example, all the map files and folders that contain all the stuff in it. So yeah, now it would be nice to actually load one of these assets. Obviously my Explorer here can already read these files that are inside the file system that we just reversed. And these asset files contain a name table, they are used everywhere, import table, under other UAsset files that are also relevant and needed and used in here. Export table is the actual content of stuff that's in here that will be exported, so it's available to the engine. And in this case, if I click on one of these, I can see the hex data of what's the content of it. If I decode this, I also have properties here and sometimes extra data. And in this case, it's a texture. I know how to use all of this data to actually read out the texture data. So now I just want to bring this into my importer. So first thing to do, I need to make it possible to read the asset files. For this I have to change the function that loads the asset files. This is Unreal Engine 4. Wait, what? Oh yeah, UAssets have their own magic. That is, if I take any of these files and look raw and hex, they start with this magic number. That is still true for this game. So that is fine. I just have to adapt how the rest of this works. Alright, so when we load this file, we have a hint to which game this is. Is it even used here? Game hint. No, it looks pretty similar. Okay, let's see what changed. I still have the same in my editor here. So let's make a side by side, because I'm not super sure as well. Stop this. Let me entertain you. So we have this. We have this. So came in, that is fine. First we read the magic, that is fine. And next we expect some version. Let's see what we get. I closed it already. But I think I have one extracted, so I can just look up from that. Like this, for example. So what is it? Oh, come on. -7, that's still true actually. Okay, so that shouldn't fail. So then stuff changes. So file size is the next I can see. That is okay. And version check. Also fine. These are fine. I do not check these. And also here it's 32-bit. So this is 8. This is 32. Oh yeah, here is a count. Usually it's just 0 in this particular example. Do we have another US set? Yeah, here for example. There is stuff here that I don't know about. Then this. Then this counter. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's some kind of hashes or so. But I can skip them because they are always 14 hex in size. Okay, so this has to change. Version check is fine. This has to change. Probably just copy this over and yeah, ignore it, and then we should continue with the file size. So that would be this value, or in this case 1, 2, 4, this size. So let's see, how big is the file? Yeah, well, it's close, but there's stuff. I don't know what size this actually is for. Do I ever need this again? Nope. Okay. Okay, fine. Quick break, I just get something to drink, be right back. And I'm back. So, file size, okay, that is fine. Package group, package flags, it should also exist here. The package group is none in this case. Package flags is this. And then we already have counts. Okay, let's see if this is similar. Package group, count offset, unknown 3, export, import, depend, string, searchable name offset, thumbnail offset. Yeah, I could even display the thumbnail of them. It's good. Then the data, generation count, name table, import table, export table. And some extra stuff. Okay, this should maybe already work. Let's try it out. Okay, rebuild, and let's see what we get. Obviously I will cut this, don't worry. Okay, and we are back. So let's see if it helped. Okay, now we actually load the asset. It should come up until here. Yes, okay. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Okay, there's a problem. Oh, and we don't check if this is valid. Okay, this will crash. I'm pretty... Oh, will it just... Okay. It crashed gracefully. Nice. Wait, what? Was it importer CS? Where are we at? Line 283. If Okay, if this is not valid, then no, don't do this. Okay, and I also see I have to expand this for Unreal Engine 5 later, but yeah, never mind. We have that, and rebuild, re-import, and I will cut this. Okay, and we're back. Let's try it out. So, have this. Have this, not this, not this. Now what game it is? Oh, the data is empty. Okay, yeah, so so far we have loaded files, the file structure from the PEG file. We still have to actually extract files from it. Yeah, I know why. Okay, because this get entry data. Copy decrypted data. And this has an exception because it is not prepared for this. Can I make a breakpoint here? Okay. Okay. Let's try that again. No. You don't get this far. Why not? Oh yeah, it's now in the asset registry. You should have come out here. Ah yeah, we can't because, yeah. Caching. What's it is solvable. Okay. Bam, we just jump here. And we continue. And we finally get here. And this will definitely be different. Yeah, and more stuff to copy now. Okay, just wanted to make sure I get there. Yeah, sure. Another thing I should check. Oh yeah, check this here. Okay, sorry for getting distracted here. So, problem is in PEG file again. PEG file entry. Copy decrypted data. Okay. And here. So this already differs a lot. I don't need that. So in all the other games so far, this worked pretty well. And at the end this happens. Default case doing nothing here. Actually, make an error. What? Oh, that's fine as well. Okay. This has to be reused. Okay, fine. Then I will close this. Just do nothing here. I can of course move it here down. Sure, why not? Everybody happy? Nice. Okay. And save, I think, goes for the compression part. Okay, which is custom for every each game so far anyway. That is this one, right? Yeah. Okay, this hasn't been observed yet, so let's ignore it. And now we actually should get data. Whew. Yeah, it's always small little steps to get far ahead later on. Okay, cut. And go. Okay, let's see what happens now. Yeah, force it here. Okay. What? Okay. Can it be decompressed? Oh, that looks good. Okay, I cannot display this. Visual Studio, come on. Give me a second. Too many breakpoints. Okay. And stuff happens. Okay, is it valid? It's not valid. Why is it not valid? Okay, do we get entry? Yes. Do we get data? We get a lot of data, okay. We should end up down here. And now we can watch this. Okay, this is fine. The version is fine. Okay, this is bad. Let me quickly check how I did it here. Oh wait, where is it? Oh, I just ignore the file size. Uh-huh. Okay. Let's change that. Yeah. Go fail. As I said, I don't know how this size relates to the file size. Maybe I just read it from the wrong place. But this definitely doesn't fit. So it's a value before none. And how big is this? E943. E943. That actually would fit. 1FB F3. That's definitely not fitting. So yeah, I don't know how that is counted. And we should discard it then. As simple as this, and we should be able to continue. And cut. and go. Okay. This looks okay. Okay, let's see what just happens. It seems it loaded it. Yeah, that looks correct. Let's look for the example texture. Okay, we have a texture and I would like to import it, but I already know it will not work because the texture class is different. But this is great, we can already look into asset files now. This is great. Let's see if we get a bigger file to show a little bit more. How about a map file? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Actually happens if I click it, not much. Okay, never mind. Static mesh, okay. If I click it, I don't get information down here. Okay, yeah, this is an asset importer. Let me use the asset explorer. What did I integrate it into here? Am I stupid? Ah, sorry. Okay, so now looking into this, we now have names, we have an import table, we have an export table. For this particular... Oh, we already have a problem reading properties. Export data. Okay, for the export we don't have the data, this is a problem. And then we can't read properties. Okay, let's figure that out. Otherwise we could have seen the data in here. But yeah, one after one thing after another. So this is fine. Read export table. Does this already get the data? Only in this case. Yeah, okay, so let's check how I do it here. Export table. This looks the same to me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that should match. So reading that is fine. Table, next name. Oh. Usually only if extra is used. In this case we read it from the actual file. Ah, okay, never mind. That's why the file size doesn't match up. Okay, this does not have extra data at the end of the file, but this has. And that's probably where the export data comes from. That has, for example, textures and stuff, so binary. Okay, never mind. So let's change it then. I could make this simple. Just future-proof this asset. We have a hint here. Game hint. Great. Usually we do this. For this game, I do this. What? Oh. This is similar. But this is reused. Okay, now my export should at least have data. Yeah, we are getting there. And cut. And go. And we have data. Okay, this is great. So this is how one of these exports data looks like. And let's take, for example, the first 8 bytes here that is have 64-byte value for 8. And I look up the name for it. Then it's imported size. That's the name of the first property. Then comes the type of it, which is 12. And that is struct property. And so on. All this data gets decoded here. And okay, that works fine. Then, just to be sure, I want to see how the property reading actually differs, because I now I found a new property that I haven't handled before. Let's see where that was. Property. Append map property. Yeah, this is new. Okay. This exists, and I can just add the case for it. Right now I'm not doing anything with the data, I'm just skipping it, but just in case I will need this later. Whew, okay, fine. So we can read properties. Now how about actual textures? U texture 2D. I know there was a difference here as well. So properties are red, unknown, pixel format, offset, this, height, num slices, format, first map, num maps. Okay, so this should be fine. Oh, well, let's see how it's reading the data. Okay, that is fine. Size 1 is the same. Whew. Oi, oi, oi. My data. Where does this come from? Yeah, I need access to the original file, because all the data is at the end of the texture, at the end of the USAT file, or the texture data. So this could be simple. Just to be sure. Yeah, don't close the file afterwards, because it's all in memory anyway. Okay, fine. That is great. So I have access to the original data stream. Okay. Okay. How to rewrite this? I mean, up until data, everything is fine. In this case, data, you read it like this. Okay. If height. Let me do this as well. Okay, fine. So now about getting the data. We quickly check how I did this here. Make bitmap. Data. Oh, we have the data. So if we want to export any of this, then we take this for example. Collect map data. For each MIP. I just loaded the data, sure. Okay, that should already work. Okay, fine. Let's see if we can see some pictures. Finally. And we are back. And look at this. We finally have data and it auto imported it from here. Woohoo, finally. Okay, it's flipped, but that is okay. That's hopefully okay. I'm not sure. I think I flip it in my tool. But this should be the original orientation of this. Okay, great, fine. So we can import textures. Let's see, what textures do we have here? How about this? Cool. What this? Okay. Okay. For example, the normal ones are not imported correctly yet. You have to change the detection for which is a normal. What does it already does that? Oh, sorry. Texture. Oh, it detected the texture type. So for Unity, it already knows this is to be used as a normal map. Okay, great. So next for it would be the actual meshes. This would probably fail, but let's see what happens. Yeah, no reference. Yeah, I will have to look into that, and we'll do a little break here and record this later. But yeah, we got something. Textures. So, see ya. Okay, and I'm back after a little break. Let's finish this off and finally add the static mesh as well. And let's dive right into it. I already know a lot of stuff is similar, but it's the small details that makes the problems. So, for example, material finding, but yeah, that is another issue. Use static mesh. Okay. Mesh materials. Okay, it already changes. Differs with that this gets the actual export passed in and gets a stream of data from there. And here it's just passed in like this. Read all properties. Okay. So, what differs? We should get export data now. Static materials, yes. Which is already more advanced in my importer. And in this case, this all happens with external files. So usually there's a UEXP file which holds the actual data. Oh no, it's in the export data. That's then passed in when we actually create one of the static mesh lots. Okay, all the properties, most of them are unimportant except for some material stuff, so yeah, that's not very important. Right after that comes information about static mesh lot. A static mesh lot should be made of static mesh sections. So let's go a little bit back. A lot is level of detail. So if you have the same model, let's say a house or a tree, depending on how far away it is, it can be reduced. When it's far away, for example, you don't have to render every detail. But if it's close up, you want to have all the details. For this, all meshes are saved in different lot versions, so different detail. And then for each mesh, there could be used multiple materials, and so each of these sections that has one material is one of these static mesh sections. So hopefully this will be similar enough so I can just use this. But generally we just go by the case if ubulk is null, which definitely is the case for this game, and otherwise do some processing. Section info map. This is new. So definitely everything is the same until we read the properties. Then we read the materials, and from here it differs. So it would be material names. It would be here. Oh man, this will be fun. Let's see if I can get this figured out. I hate switch cases and switch cases, so I want to export this. To another function. We are not in a switch yet. Okay, switch asset game hint. And we need to know if we load regular. Then so if some games really differ from these schemes too much, I just can't handle them with that. And for this case, I do not want to do this. Instead, so material names. Do you have material names here as well? quickly check properties, raw data, lots, material names. Here's just names here, it's full objects. Okay. Source models. Yeah, it was a weird way to figure out how many lots there actually are. So I can remove that and let's just use all of that. So what do we need? Definitely the stream, I guess. Okay, we find this property, we need this property, otherwise it's not working. Send this special material index map, yeah, otherwise I do not know which belong together. This is something that could go into helper. Actually, this is not Unity, this is unrelated. I have to make a differentiation here for the different engines and avoid this import. And this. Okay. Okay. Fine. I need access to the asset. Okay. Okay. This. Okay, fine. It's in the mesh lots. So, so far we just read properties and gathered some information from that, and we'll now use this for the reading of the actual data of the mesh. Don't worry, this won't be too complicated. Just some small changes, and if you have a lot of data, that counts. Oh, I already do this specific for specific games. Okay. Let's take a whole function like this and make a new version for this game. Okay. Sections and vertices. Okay, this would already differ. So this is not the default case. Okay, quick check. What is it doing? Count vertices, section and vertices, section and vertices. Quickly check something. We do not create these sections. But I have material info for it. So wait, we have vertices, we have the UVs, we have the colors, indices. I just named these wrong. Yeah, these are just the indices named wrong. I think and hope. So there are no sections here. How do I get these out from the material info? About UVs. No, nothing special. But it needs these mesh sections. So for just getting that information out, that is fine. We really only use material info for different materials. Well, so I'm pretty sure I can make this loading, but importing this will be interesting. Okay, let's just do it. Sorry, I'm going off the course here. So first we have to do all of this. Which you know we have the code that has to happen here. first thing we check here, for example, is 1, and for this game it's always 9. So okay, I can just assume everything here is fine. This will be fun. Do we have a valid at the end here too? Okay. Okay, mud info, because we don't have this. Let's edit. Wait a minute, that is just the mesh action. Everything is 32-bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And some data to skip. Okay, so I just have to adapt this. Okay, then this is not called material info. Okay. So, sections. Static mesh action. Okay. So, just with a difference. I need to know the game. Actually, let's just make this a separate function. So, only thing that changes here is this. Yeah, so, okay. Let's use that instead. Okay. Okay, size count. Vertices, okay. I mean, that is the same code. Okay, how would I usually read this? Okay, so I think this is just indices in parts, not one whole list of indices, and for importing I will need this as one. Oh yeah, right, so now combine them all. How do I do this quickly? So okay, well, this should work. I hope. So this is one big list of all them concatenated. Now it's valid. I'm not sure if this is enough, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Out of range. Okay. Okay, we don't have lots, but what do we have? Oh wait, don't have lots. We add lots here. Okay. have model count. Yes, we have 3 models. That I think should be better called 3 lots. Wait, model count is 0? Wait. Okay, so this property wasn't read correctly. Okay, let's have a look in the Asset Explorer then. So source models is not decoded. Array property. Okay, let's see if array property differs. It is, yeah, it is array property. Okay, 31. I just haven't added it here. Right, do I have more switches like this? Nope, only here. Okay. Okay, then this should come after that. Data. Okay, it's pretty similar to PUBG Lite. Wait, is it actually the same? That would be funny. Yep, that actually matches. Well, how nice. Damn. Okay, that should could be already it. Build, copy, and waiting. Okay, let's continue. Okay. That is okay. Okay. Oh, it's doing stuff. Ooh, what is it? Is it really a tree? I don't know. It has some texture is applied, that is correct, but what I don't see is, I think the UVs are still wrong here. But yeah, we have some mesh, we have applied stuff. Interesting, also its size too big, but okay. These are just small things and I think I can fix them. First off, let's discard everything we imported. Okay. So, about the UVs. Static mesh alot. Right, at the very beginning I have the default set. And I think they are different here. Oh, sorry. Static mesh alot. Yeah, they're all 16. So that's PUBG Lite. We do this here to replace this map. And as far as I see, it's just float 16. So let's only do that. Yeah, game of peace. So damn. Not float 16, int 16, right? Oh, float 16. Never mind, it was correct. Yeah, okay. And save. And build. Copy. And wait. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, while we are here, should I did something with the colors? You reset, we will see. There was some, there was something about the scale. Yeah. Can't find it right now. Let's see what we get. Okay, continue. Importing a lot of stuff. This looks more like a tree, but CWV is not. So what have we got? Yes, materials, okay. Scale should be 100, I think. Yeah, that's more like it. And yeah, the UVs are still wrong. Okay, I will make a little cut here and figure that out and then come back so you don't have to watch me find out why. Be right back. Okay, this was not as hard as I imagined it to be. The hint came from in the old tool when I export this into a PSK file for testing. I use UV index 4 and 5. So it means I skipped 0 to 3, and because it's U and V divided by 2, I essentially use the third UV set in there. And in the in my importer tool, I already have the same case for PUBG Lite. Essentially, they discard the first two UV sets and then take the third of it. Remember, starting counting at 0, and then finally it actually imported it right. So if I, for example, fix this material here, I think this one, make it, for example, cut out like this, and there you have your mesh, material, and texture applied. Yeah, one final thing, it's still getting imported way too big, but I will find that out in a second. Because, okay, this is the mesh itself, but when importing it, scaling it correctly is another thing. That comes from the importer part. So let's see, landscape material, static mesh import. That's the import. Okay. Get prefab. Instantiate. Okay. Get prefab. This will import this into the scene. Create a new mesh. Skip. Submesh count. We set the triangles. Calculate stuff. Create Unity asset. Okay. Create Unity prefab. Okay. So the prefab needs to be scaled. I'm pretty sure I already do that somewhere. Wait, let me go to the helper. It's all properties, converting. Unreal position to Unity, unreal scale to Unity. In game. Right, and like for PUBG I have to scale this down. Okay, sorry, this was really hidden and not very obvious, but this is a function I use to scale something. And it is aware for which game, so scales can differ in different games. Okay, and hopefully this will now import it just right. Okay, here we go again. So remove that, remove this, get our importer, load files. Oh no, let's import another mesh just for fun. This is still too big. So there's a mesh. Takes this prefab. Or there's a scale. Okay, I assume this is then used for when I use map import. So I have to actually change this here. I scale them here. Okay, look something like gaming. Oh yeah, in that case I probably should reverse this, because I don't know if this will make problems. Oh wait, actually it would throw an exception. So I actually have to add this case. But for now I just assume it behaves normal. Okay, let's make actual mesh data different. Okay, fine. Okay, let's try this again. Oh yeah. This can sometimes happen. I don't know, Unity doesn't like replacing stuff. Binary files. Let's take the default one. Magic is happening. And where did it go? Ah, this looks more like it. Yeah, this is normal size. Let's try the other one. Okay, cool. Then we have the full tree. Is it? Oh yeah. And this material needs to change. Okay, this is a different tree. Okay, nice. So if we can import meshes, can we import maps? That's what I'm really interested in right now. Let's see. I have not tested this, so if it doesn't work I have to do this in another video, because this one gets already too long. I don't know. Classic one. How about buildings? How about somewhere in the middle? Okay, I do get a scene tree. Let's see what happens. Okay, not much. Do we have anything here? Okay, let's look around. Oh, there is stuff here. Okay, not bad. Just probably all way too far away. Okay, how many problems do we have? Doors. Where do we have doors? We do have buildings, but they don't have a mesh attached. Okay, so importing that probably failed. I have to do more work, but I'm pretty happy about the first stuff already. So we got some mountains, noise, and we got some trees. Let's see what actually was imported. So meshes, desert rock, mesh upload. Okay, let's just see. So it skipped a lot of them. Okay, I have to figure out why it doesn't import the other ones, but yeah. That's already very satisfying here. The materials, the textures, everything is here. Oh, we have normals too. Do we have normals applied? Give you a shader. Oh, not yet. Do we have the normal version of it? Only different, it's materials, textures. Okay, how about this one then? As normal map. Ooh. And let's make this a little bit slower, lower. So I don't know. Okay, so now with normal maps. Nice. Makes it look a little bit more, rocky. So yeah, that was the whole goal of the importing business here, to be able to load these files and then be able to look at them. Obviously I'm not done here, but I hope it was possible to see how I get here. How I got to this editor in the first place was just a lot of trial and error and the hex editor, and how I get from this to that, I hopefully you were able to see now. Yeah, I think I will end it here, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.